All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Blind View here on Becca's World. And here is your host, Miss Rebecca Meadows.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening for an exciting episode of The Blind View. I am your host, Rebecca S. Meadows, and we have Anya and Brandon joining us. Brandon is hiding his identity somewhat this evening, ladies and gentlemen, so please bear with us.
I mean, I think it's beyond my control. Everybody, it's the powers that
That's
be,
what they all say.
or gremlins. I don't know, but I am.
So the disembodied voice is our co-host, Brandon.
Hello,
How are
everybody.
you guys tonight? How are you
Hi,
two tonight?
everyone. Doing good. Just another weeknight, another episode, another successful day.
Yeah. So do either of you have a topic you guys want to get started with, or do you guys want me to bring up my topic?
Go ahead with yours, unless Brandon has something super major. I don't know.
Do you have something?
Nothing super pressing or anything. So
I
happy to
wanted-
be here.
I wanted to talk about the fact that we're all still here now that these tariffs have been rolled out. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's more tariffs that are yet to come, but my understanding is the tariffs have been out there for a while now, and we're still here. We're still breathing. It's not the end of the world.
And the eggs are cheaper, and the gas is lower. So
Yeah, like it's kind of funny that our prices here at home are going down when the tariffs are going up for countries that want to do business with us. Anyway,
Well, and importantly, I have to say, our border is 99.99% more safe and secure in the first 100 days of President Trump.
it's been a great 100 days too, hasn't it?
yeah, I sadly didn't
yeah.
have a chance to watch the speech, but I kind of followed the news pretty well. So I didn't feel like. I mean, I like Trump a lot, but I didn't feel like I needed to hear him reciting everything. I kind of know what's going on. So
Right, yeah, me too.
yeah, that's good. The left is continuously freaking out about
it is, though?
everything. So
Yeah. Yeah,
what was
so-
that story about Amazon trying? What were they saying that they want to put? Brandon, it sounds like you were aware. Do you know more about that? That they're trying to put next to the price of the item on Amazon, they want to put another like increased price because of the tariff.
right, indicating the way that the price has changed because of tariffs. But all Caroline Levitt had to say is, well, Amazon, why didn't you show how much inflation was going up under Joe Biden? And they're like, okay, all right, we won't put it.
Yeah.
Won't put it. Okay, fine. And it's like within hours they rolled it back. Within hours, like that was fast.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and people like, see what's going on, and then they were trying to show transparency. I don't know. I didn't know about this, but Amazon is not a really transparent platform. Turns out, I personally have not encountered, except for one. And again, it didn't happen to me personally. I heard from somebody. So you guys all have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
do.
so we
share.
do too. So again, I heard only from one person. It hasn't been confirmed by anybody else, but I can easily believe this. So if you have Amazon Prime and you pay a certain amount, it was 100 something bucks a year, so and then pretty much all the shipment is free, right? But what somebody noticed they were doing, so if you search under a different account that is not Prime account, the price is different from Prime. So they sneak in the price for the Prime members a little bit higher. So you pay, like I don't have to pay for shipping because I already paid my membership, but the price of the item is supposedly high. I don't think it's in every case.
Oh, yeah.
I am yet to test it. I do have Amazon account that is not Prime, and I don't remember my password or anything like that. But I think it's worthwhile comparing. Just maybe not one or two items, but just kind of monitor this and see if it's true.
That's a good thing to bring up, Anya. Thanks for bringing that up. And I encourage our viewers, if you are an Amazon customer like I am, to look into it. I'm going to look into it.
Well, and I don't really blame them, guys, because I mean, Amazon, I think, represents a lot of the way that our economy is so both global and complex now. Because so you get free 2-day shipping on Prime eligible items, and so, but I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I don't really like the model per se because it's like, yeah, you pay. Well, we pay monthly for Prime, not yearly. But either way you go, you either pay monthly or yearly. So, but it's like you pay to access the service, and then what you're saying, Anya, is even once you pay, your prices are still a little higher, so that they can actually cover the 2-day shipping.
Well, but it's not always 2 day shipping. Again, like I'm not sure if it applies to how quickly you want it to be delivered or not. But in either case, they have to be honest about it. You know, like
I
people
mean,
have no idea.
right, yeah, because
Speaking of transparency, goddammit. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, you're right, Anya.
Yeah, it's just
cover your shipping. That just gives you access to Prime.
yeah, I know. We use Amazon quite a lot actually. Um I like I like the variety of things. You know, when you go to the store, you don't find everything all the time. And it's good to support small businesses and stuff. We try to do some of that too. And some malls look very sad. You know, we have one mall in Topeka, so you go there, just I don't know, a couple of stores open. Like the
Oh,
whole
really?
yeah, it's kind of quiet and almost creepy. You know, like,
Oh,
uh,
Well, and it's probably hard on those stores, because it's like, as I understand it, it's always been expensive to operate in a mall.
oh, I remember back in the 90s when I was still in high school, the mall in Havre, it was
Uh-huh.
almost dead back then. Like back in when I was in high school, when I was in elementary school, we go Christmas shopping in Havre. And I remember the mall was always busy every year, right? All
yeah.
the time too, not just at Christmas time. But when I got into high school, it was like, well, it was after the first Gulf War, you know what I mean? And
Okay.
so I'm just trying to help you guys understand what our world was like, right? And I just remember, like, I would go to the mall in Havre, and most of the stores were empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really crazy because, like I said, a few years before, when I was in elementary school, before I went blind, we used to go to the mall in Havre, and it was always busy. But yeah, like 5 years later, when I was in high school, like 3 to 5 years later when I was in high school, I just noticed like all of the stores were empty at the mall in Havre, and you know what I mean. And that wasn't the
Wow.
only place where there were empty businesses and stuff. And even when I was in Missoula, like I was in Missoula, Montana for 20 years, and there, like I saw some of my favorite businesses close down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it
Um,
sounds like, hey, your region.
are you there, Brandon? Anya, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Brandon
Okay,
hasn't disappeared. Brandon.
I didn't know if maybe I got disconnected or
Can you guys hear
Brandon.
me?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we hear you
yeah.
now. You were saying, my
No,
friend?
no, no. It's weird. No, I just was saying it must have hit your region of the country different than mine in the Midwest. Because I remember the malls being pretty busy up through, I don't know, about 2000. Now, I don't remember, maybe in 2001, 2001, right? But maybe it kind of changed. And, I do kind of wonder if today we may see some things change because, China is just so adversarial.
Mhm.
They just keep up in the ante. And it's like, China, that is a mistake.
Speaking of
That
China,
is a mistake.
Speaking of China, you guys think about all of the farmland here in the United States they've been buying up. You know, I grew up in a rural farming community. We were surrounded by farms that were owned by the same family for generations, right? But when I was in high school, a lot of those farmers were losing their farms to the bank. And then I found out that China was actually buying up the farmland. And they've been buying up farmland all over America.
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, I hope Trump has some kind of a stoppage to this and You know?
I'm sure he does.
Well, did you guys hear about the Maud family?
Who's the Mod family?
Oh yeah, it was cool. I saw a meeting today with Secretary Rollins and Attorney General Bondi, and yeah, so apparently, I think they were trying to charge them like $4 million and put them in prison, and they have 2 young children for like 25 acres of land. But
Oh.
this administration was like, no, absolutely not. That's a disgusting.
What crime were they
overreach.
charging them with that they were wanting to put them in prison?
Oh, the nut job, whack job Biden administration said that, oh, you're encroaching on federal forestry land, blah 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 blah. Even though for decades they had an informal agreement with the U.S. Forestry Service.
Oh, it was probably one of those situations where their private farmland abutted up against the U.S. forestry land, and the forestry, they were allowed to use the Forestry Service to hunt on and fish on and stuff. That's common in those areas. Like in Montana, where I come from, there's lots of people that own land, have private farmland or private ranches, and there's like state land or federal land that abuts it, and they are allowed to hunt and fish on the federal land because it butts right up against their private land,
Well, and I'm saying, is it really necessary to levy a $4 million fine against,
a family?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be better to just go and sit down with the Forestry Service personnel and say, listen, they want clarification on this? I mean, you could do that deal in a day. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and then this amount is insurmountable. Like, I mean, I don't know how rich those people are, but $4 million, it's
That's a
not
lot.
something they can take out of the pocket
Yeah.
and hand over,
Yeah, it sounds to me like it's probably gross government overreach and government abuse by the Biden administration.
Yeah, and speaking of the Biden administration, it's so funny to watch the libs now, doing all this finger pointing. Now they are okay talking about the Biden's mental decline, his dementia. So now it's
Mhm.
okay to talk about it because it was so obvious to the cat is out of the bag. So and now they just blaming it. Oh, like the media, it's your fault. You didn't tell people. Blah, blah, blah. Like, well, the media and the Democrat Party is pretty much same thing. Distinctions without
Mhm.
difference.
the auto pin. The
Uh-huh.
auto pin.
Oh, I forgot about the auto pin. That was terrible.
Who was holding the auto pin? Oh my gosh, we need to find out. You need to find out.
Yeah, I mean that was his staff using this. I mean, he probably most of the time didn't even know what was being signed.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, really, really, like seriously, it is concerning though, right? I mean, what if?
Uh-oh.
Hello? I think we lost Brandon. Brandon, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, here you are.
There you are. You're back.
Oh, I was just saying, think if one of them had gotten the codes for the nuclear football, like it's
Oh my
crazy.
God. Yeah, they could have sold it or acted upon or of another country or something. They could have done anything with it.
I mean, that's an extreme example, but just the whole concept that the president was so
Brandon,
sleepy.
that may be an extreme example, my friend, but there's a lot of extreme shit that the former administration did to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a lot of shit during the Biden administration. My mouth was falling open. I was like, what? How can they do that? You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it that people were just sitting back and let some of that shit go on that was going on. It was crazy.
I know, not to go far, just something simple as COVID, and vaccine mandates, passports, and all that crap. Like, my God, I can't believe we lived through all this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have lived through a lot of incredible stuff in our lifetimes, especially in the last couple decades.
Hey, do you all have a real ID?
Oh no, I actually need.
I don't.
You better go get it.
And
You
I thought
better
they
go
were
get
gonna.
it.
I thought they were gonna be required as of January 2025, but I don't have one, and I'm still.
No, it's in May. I think.
Exactly. You better go get it.
Isn't that
Yeah.
just for flying though?
Yeah, mostly, but I don't know what else you would need.
I am gonna be flying this summer. So how does one get a real ID?
You have to go to DMV.
Yeah.
So how is it different than the ID you already get from the DMV? Because that's where I go to get my ID.
So apparently the one that you have is unreal, but you're gonna get a real one.
I know this is really confusing me. I don't know what they mean by a real ID.
No,
I know.
I just think you might want to consider getting it just to avoid like burden
Well-
and hassle, you know.
Well, they've been saying that you wouldn't be able to fly without a real ID as of like wasn't it January 1st?
No, it's May. This May, it's coming right up.
Okay, yeah. So I'm planning on flying in August, right?
Well,
I haven't bought my
actually, I
tickets
think
yet,
you
but-
can fly, but you just have to like give them alternate forms of identification and stuff. And
No,
so they
do you
don't-
have a
they don't
passport?
accept- I have a passport book, and I have a passport card, and I have my Arizona State ID card. So I have 3 forms of ID. But
No,
if
if you
they're
have
not going to
passport, it's
accept the
good.
state
Yeah,
ID, why
yeah.
would they accept the other 2?
because those are federal.
Oh, okay. So is that what they're wanting, like a federal form of ID?
Yeah, but you should be okay with a passport. If you have passport,
Yeah.
you could take it.
Yeah, I have a passport and a passport
Well, and
card.
they've also been changing what you can carry on planes now. Did you all see that? Like that's kind
Oh,
of
no.
helpful, but
And what I haven't seen that, Brandon. In what way has it changed?
yeah, well, there's a couple items now, and you can take like full set. Like I think like shampoo, you can take like a regular bottle of shampoo now. And
Oh, wow.
Oh, I didn't know that. Where did you hear that from?
Brandon, are you there? Oh no, I think we might have lost him.
What the
again.
heck?
There he is.
That's
Yeah.
so weird. I don't know what's going on today. No, I just was saying the TSA has made some changes to carry on items. So
Well, I'll have to look into that before we fly, because, yeah, I was planning on going to Minnesota for my family reunion in August.
yeah, I would Google TSA carry on policy changes. I think you'll be
Yeah.
kind of happy.
Yeah, well, are there changes in well, other parts of the flying process other than what you can carry in your carry-on? Like, I don't know, it just seems like so many things have been different. I'm trying to think.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I mean, it's always good to check in. I think like a day before your flight.
Mhm.
That's helpful.
Well,
Yeah.
usually they are after like some gel like substances or like liquids.
Uh-huh.
But generally, you can take anything. I was able to carry food, like
Okay.
stuff like that. It's not even perfume. If it's not super huge bottle, like 100 milliliters you can carry. Used to be only 50. I think now you can do 100 milliliters. But speaking of the flights, did you guys hear that crazy story about that lady on Southwest Airlines when she got
I don't know what.
naked and
Oh,
Tennessee?
I
I
didn't
did-
hear
I
about
did
this.
hear-
What happened?
yeah. Can you provide some more details?
Well, I don't know that much detail, but what I know, I think it was the flight from
Can
Chicago.
you just tell the story from the top? Because I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah, so there was a flight supposedly from, if I'm not mistaken, from Chicago to Philadelphia or vice versa or something like that. Anyway, so this crazy chick decided to get naked on a flight, and she pooped or peed or both, I don't know, on the seat of the
Oh
airplane.
no.
Yeah,
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
I
So
know.
what did they do?
Well, what good they do? I mean, when they landed, the police were waiting by the gate.
They arrested her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Like, I mean, my God! Like, what are you smoking, lady? Like,
Pretty bad.
I know. So then they had to put the plane out of service. You know how planes are, like they fly to a destination, and then people get out, and then
And sometimes they have to clean them and stuff.
they clean very, very quick, and then the half an hour or whatever, they'll let you back on, like, next
Yeah.
flight. But at that time they had to put the plane out of service so they can clean it
Clean
really
up
well.
that Yeah, and get rid of any biological hazards as a result of her pissing and shitting on the seat.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell is wrong with people?
Wow, that's really, really crazy.
That's terrible. Well, and it's just like you don't know. I mean, I understand why they took it out because it's like you don't know. I mean, maybe she's sick, maybe she has some kind of disease. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, you don't know. I mean, it's disgusting enough even if she was healthy, but you don't even know that she's healthy.
Uh-huh.
Definitely, I don't know if she's mentally healthy. I mean,
But clearly not. I don't know. I know that Southwest for a while discontinued their policy. No, how did it go? Yeah, so you could not have alcohol on a flight because people were getting too rowdy, too unruly. But
like, you mean they wouldn't even serve it?
Yeah, they wouldn't even serve it. However, on the last flight we took to Houston, there was a lady next to me. She ordered a margarita, and they gave it to her. I think they changed it when they had to make major changes with the seat assignment and baggage and all that good stuff. And I think they kind of to butter up the customers, they decided to put the drinks back on. That's my assumption.
Well, I mean, I think it's good that they did. I mean, I can see both sides of it. It's like you don't want people to get super rowdy at 30,000 feet, but
do you guys hear that? Oh.
Yeah. So
ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi guys, Becca Meadows here with my boyfriend Pat Banish with a very important message for you.
Hi, we would like for you to check out the Humane Society and adopt a pet. Their website can be found at the bottom of the screen, and you can see them at humaneworld.org, or check your local listings for your own Humane Society near you.
Yes, thank you for your time today. Peace out.
Peace.
Hi, it's me, Rebecca S. Meadows, the author, with my new book, Living on Borrowed Time, The Ravings of an Angry Survivor of Traumatic Brain Injury and Guardianship Abuse. It's available on Kindle Digital Download, Amazon Print on Demand, and on Audible. Please go check it out. And now, back to the show.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, back on. There was a little bit different music. That's why I was like, well, what is this? And Becca,
Yeah.
I tell you, not bad.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what we were talking about before the commercial break.
We talk about airplanes and changes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I love to travel. I can't wait till August. I'm really looking forward to my family reunion. I haven't been there in a few years, so.
Well, do you already have tickets?
No, I haven't bought tickets yet. Mostly because I wasn't sure until very recently whether or not my 18-year-old son was going to be going with us. But it looks like it's just going to be Patrick and me, and so I'll buy our tickets soon here.
Where is Patrick tonight? Speaking of Patrick.
Oh, Patrick is at his friend Gabe's house. I was supposed to go with, but that was earlier today. We were going to hang out with Gabe, but then it got postponed till later, and I had to stay here to do my show. So,
well, do you know? Just I don't know how much you want to say or whatever, but I just want you to know that I didn't even intend to viciously attack him. I mean, is he like quite angry with us or what?
Oh no, don't worry about it, Brandon. We all know you guys didn't mean to attack Patrick, and Patrick's fine. Patrick's a hothead. You know what I mean? And not only is he a hothead, but he's also a liberal Democrat. And as we all know,
which is also a condition.
A lot of the liberal Democrats are still having some angry emotions about the election, And
they are?
Oh, yeah. And Patrick's definitely... Brandon, I live with this man. Oh, my gosh.
I mean, no. Okay, I know they're raising a hoop and a holler about everything, seemingly, but they still talk about the election.
Oh.
Now everything I hear is about deportation.
Well, they've been upset ever since Trump won the election. That was the start of it, right?
Yeah.
And every day since then, while he hasn't been removed from office, they're just getting angrier and angrier, you know?
I know.
I mean,
that's-
you guys, I heard today that we're going to see some really shocking evidence about people like Letitia James.
Oh, yeah.
I found it the most ironic about that particular Trump case. You know, they unleash all these crazy prosecutors with some bullshit nonsense, accusations, clearly only to keep Trump out of the office. I mean, that was obvious to the child, you know, what they were
It
doing.
was so obvious, even blind people could see it.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, guys, but I had to point that out.
No,
Well,
you're right, though.
I mean, but then she gets in trouble for falsifying business records or whatever, like for getting the home loan, like something similar to what she was trying to accuse Trump of, that he was falsifying some stuff, and she lied in her application, her bank application.
Yeah. You guys, though, I pray for President Trump's safety and protection every single day, you know, because we just need to, because they're all so crazy on the other side.
I know, and you're far from being the first one who says that. Even some big intellectual people like Victor Davis Hanson talks about this, and he says, yeah, like the left is getting increasingly desperate and crazy.
Yeah, they're becoming more and more agitated and more like off kilter, you know, like they're going off half cocked.
Yeah.
Wow. See, and I just go back to, it's only been, guys, a little more than 3 months. 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people are interested in him being gone. That's for sure.
It's interesting. Like, we didn't, we on the moderate to far right didn't respond like this. I mean, we endured 4 years of Joe Biden's, being in the White House anyway.
Yeah. I mean, but we were classy, decent
I really
people.
cannot say the word leadership where he's concerned.
Yeah, but we were classy and decent and reasonable people. I mean, yes, we were bitching a lot about things, pointing some crazy shit out for sure. But we didn't go to the streets. We didn't burn. We didn't loot. We didn't do anything.
We never took any shots at Biden. Nobody ever took a shot at Biden, did they?
Or anybody for that matter.
I certainly did not.
Yeah, look at all the shit they've been doing to Trump since he won the election. Well, even before the election, really. Just because they knew he was going to win.
Yeah. I mean, I saw today on Facebook, Libs of TikTok, I follow her. She just, you guys probably know who she is, right? It's a lady from New York.
I do. I follow her on X.
Yeah, she's cool. She pulled, I think it was in her page today. I saw, Becca, if you don't know, like, she's a lady from New York, and she kind of popped up during the COVID era.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what she does is she goes to TikTok and finds some absolutely lunatic TikTokers out there, like lefty crazies, and she reposts, and that's why, like, her whole like.
Does she critique their videos?
No, she doesn't even comment. She just puts it out for people to see.
it.
Wow. What craziness! Yeah. And today
I've never been on TikTok, but I've heard of Libs of TikTok. But while we're talking about TikTok, can you guys tell me if you guys know yet if ownership of it's been taken out of the Chinese hand? Because I was actually gonna download TikTok and start doing it if China, if it's taken out of control of China's hands.
I honestly don't even know any updates on that.
Because I know Trump was talking about it a while back, and I was really excited because I thought, wow, if the United States does take it over, then it will be safe, and like I would like to use it. I've never been on TikTok, and I want to check it out.
I don't know. I've never been a fan because, if you like more long form stuff, Becca, TikTok is not the place for you. It never has been, and it's still not. Like, TikTok is, you do like a 60-second clip and you're done. Like that's
Right,
all it
well-
is. Just millions of little 60-second videos.
Oh, I definitely have to make shorter videos, but I wanted to get on TikTok because of the coverage, right, and the exposure. Because everybody and their dogs on TikTok, and I'm trying to spread my message, right? And that's why I wanted to get on TikTok. But then, like I said, it just wasn't safe because of how the Chinese government had access to our private information and stuff. But I was really hoping that Trump would take it over, or that the United States would take it over, or some other company, right? So I just waiting to see. And I thought I had heard that a while back, but I haven't seen anything come of it. So
Yeah, I don't know. I never followed up because I never had it. I'm just like Brandon. I am not a fan. I heard that it's full of Chinese spy software and all that stuff. Like,
oh yeah, but everybody's using it. Like I have a lot of sighted friends, right? And they're all using it, right? And it's part of the sighted world. And if we want to compete on an even level with our sighted peers, we want to be able to utilize these tools, right? And I don't even know if the TikTok app is accessible,
I heard it is. I know some
it
blind
is?
people run TikToks. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I mean, people can share videos. You don't have to have an app. So I come across just this example with the libs of TikTok. She reposts, and I come across other videos also from TikTok.
Uh-huh.
So in that lady, I think it was her, but I don't know, maybe somebody else. But anyway, so the TikTok video of a teacher, a school teacher, was talking on her TikTok saying that Trump supporters should be assassinated, and if she had power, if she had ability, she would start, doing that herself. It's like, what the fuck?
Hey
Yeah.
guys, excuse me for a moment. I'm gonna adjust my thermostat.
Okay.
All right.
Turn
But
voiceover
she
on.
actually said that out loud.
Yeah, and it's not the first video like that.
Open TCC.
It wasn't just like
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
sign or it was a meme or something. She actually said it.
No, I mean, yeah, supposedly I don't know. Like I said, I cannot say 100% it was from libs of TikTok because I usually trust her. She reposts real stuff.
No. Libs of TikTok didn't say it, but the teacher.
No, of course not. The teacher
the
did.
teacher said, wow. And you saw that today. When was it posted? When did they post that?
Sometime today, I don't remember. But the only doubt I have is that it was a libs of TikTok or not. Like it could be in somebody else's page. I saw it because I follow a lot of stuff on Facebook.
But it was posted though today though.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. No, I haven't. I was on X earlier, but then I haven't been on it for a couple hours. Well, and then did you hear? Apparently. I just saw the headline, right? I don't know the details, but apparently, they're trying to, and someone did submit impeachment documentation of some variety.
Yeah, I saw that.
Who are they trying to impeach now?
Donald
Are they
Trump.
trying to impeach Trump again?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
There was some lunatic. He's not even U.S. born. He's dude from India, somehow serving in our Congress. Yes, he's here since the 70s. He has super thick accent. So I wouldn't say it's hard to understand him completely, but yeah, so definitely a foreign accent, serving there, and then he, presents 7 articles of impeachment to impeach Donald J. Trump. And so I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere. I think he's full of shit because Trump is not breaking any laws. He's trying to get the laws enforced.
And I think the Indian leadership and the Trump administration are pretty simpatico, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe so, but I mean, imagine if somebody from us, went to India and tell them impeach their president. Like, they will be just kicked out in no time. And this dude is just, I don't know.
Oh, but he's a congressman, though.
Yeah, from Michigan, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, so
it's one of those. Okay, Michigan, Minnesota. It's kind of that whole region of the country, right? Michigan is yeah, it's one of those type of, kind of like the guy from Minnesota, went and jumped on a plane.
I wanted to share with you guys why Patrick went to hang out with his friend Gabe this evening.
Okay.
This morning when we got up, Patrick had a text message from Gabe, who's his former roommate, informing him that Gabe's dog died overnight. Princess was a pit bull that Gabe had, and Patrick was very fond of Princess because when Patrick and Gabe were roommates, Patrick is the one that took care of Princess and walked her all the time. And so Princess passed away, and so Gabe was pretty upset this morning. So we invited him over today, but he wasn't able to make it. And I think that's why Patrick went to hang out with him this evening. I don't know. Patrick just announced that he was going over there. So.
Was she sick? Was the dog sick or old? Why did she die?
She was pretty old. She was a pit bull. And here's some of the things that Patrick has told me about her. Like, so she was never neutered. And she had, like, her teats were really long and they were really swollen. And so she was very aggressive because she'd never been fixed, you know. And she just had a lot of health problems because she'd never been neutered or fixed when she was a puppy. And because she was a pit bull, it made her more aggressive and she was just dangerous. And so Gabe wasn't able to take her out a lot and stuff. So she wound up spending a lot of time stuck in his apartment, and she didn't have the best of lives, Princess didn't. So she's probably better off now. But, you know, it's sad. It's sad to see.
And that's something where we can have common ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad to see animals living in bad situations. Like, Gabe lived in an apartment, right? And then he'd go to work and Princess would be stuck in the apartment all day holding it, you know, and she'd have accidents and Gabe would take it out on her, you know, and it just wasn't fair to the dog to be stuck in the apartment all day, for one thing. You know,
what do you mean taking it out on her? Like yelling at her, beating her?
Yell at her and punish her. I don't know about beating her, but he'd yell at her and talk cruel to her, you know. And I mean, it just didn't sound good, you know, from the way Patrick described it. But my boyfriend Patrick, he's a very sentimental guy. He's got a really soft heart.
Yeah, it makes me really angry when I hear people, you know, abusing animals, like yelling at them or beating them or something. It's just.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because I know our cat, we have a cat that's really old. She's 18 human years old. So.
Yeah. So, you know, guys, I grew up in a rural farming community, and there were a lot of, I mean, we had farm animals around us. We had domesticated pets, you know, and there were also a lot of wild animals in Montana as well. And there's a big difference between different kinds of animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the point is, all animals are pretty much helpless, right? And defenseless, and they require, I mean, and they deserve, and they're entitled to fair treatment in life. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, they don't always get it.
Yeah, that's why some people should not have animals at all if they can.
Yeah.
Same with kids.
Like you have that promo for the ASPCA, right? I mean,
I don't know what society.
Yeah. I don't know what the current stats are on. You know, are there still like a lot of animals that are being killed because it's said that there's no other solution. I don't even know what the status of that is.
I don't know what the statistics are because I don't look up statistics on stuff like that because they're always grim. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I do know that it seems like there are more and more non-kill shelters. You know what I mean? And that makes me happy because I remember when I was growing up in the 1980s, right? It just seemed like I didn't ever hear about any non-kill shelters back then. You know what I mean? And now I hear about them all the time. So I think it's a good thing.
What's non-kill shelter?
Those are shelters that take animals in and they rehome them. They don't put them down. they hold on to them until they rehome them or get them into a foster home or something. They just refuse to kill the animals.
My wife actually worked at a shelter where they did kill, and she had to do it one time, and she was like, "Nope, I'm not doing that again." It was very traumatic for her.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
You
Poor
just
Brain.
inject them with something or what?
You do, but then where she worked, at least they would put them in the equivalent of like a gas chamber. But she said it's not quick. It takes several minutes, and they're not all totally unconscious, and it's a pretty grisly process apparently.
Oh, that's
Oh, how horrible.
terrible. That's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just all dogs and cats or what?
Not even old. Some of them just are mean, or they're just in there for
or they
months
can't
and months
find
and
a home
months.
for them. Sometimes some of
Yeah.
them are like they have a lame foot or something. There's different reasons why people pass over animals and they refuse to adopt them.
She now has an app though. My wife does, where she's taking care of dogs. She can actually send them food and stuff.
Oh yeah, my boyfriend used to do that. He used to do a thing where he volunteered with a organization that fostered animals and stuff.
Yeah. Well, now that
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Why don't they have blind people sections at sporting events? Why do I gotta pay the same price to not see shit? Okay? The Jumbotron ain't even built for me.
I am the business manager here at the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
I see you brought the film crew. Make sure you get my good stuff.
All right, settle down and get focused on your tasks.
I teach the art of cuisine, child.
You wanna know the problem? The biggest problem in the blind community is you sighted people.
Just take a look over here.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, man.
Okay, you all need to turn off those cameras and just leave the building.
Wait, Joe, hold on.
Oh, on your right.
You're on the right.
How would you know that the men you're dating are black?
No, this is not card member services. This is the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
Gigi, where are his pants?
I don't know.
Billy doesn't work here. He basically came with the building.
I can be the very first mayor of Blind Sylvania.
Make blind America great again.
There goes my pie.
This happens every day?
No, of
Sometimes.
course not.
Are we back yet, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. I gotta tell you guys something that happened the other day. So,
What's that?
I've been dating Patrick for a while now, and I've been meeting his friends and stuff, right? Well, he has
Okay.
he has a lot of really cool friends. Well, his friend Sam has a couple of sons, ages 19 and 20, Sam Jr. and Isaiah. Well, I haven't met Sam Jr. yet, but I met Isaiah the other day. Isaiah was over here at my house, and he was checking out all of the awards in my entryway for our show, Don't Look Now, because it's been winning awards right and left in film festivals, right? And we have a bunch of them hanging on the wall in my entryway. So he was looking at them, and then he's mentioned Nathan Hurd. He said, I love Nathan Hurd. Because he saw that Nathan was in the show. Because I don't know exactly what's on the wall that Gino put up there for the awards, but apparently it mentioned the cast, or there was a picture of the cast or something. And Isaiah realized that Nathan was in the show, and he goes, I love Nathan Hurd. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. So I'm going to tell Nathan, I got to get that message to him, like, dude, I have this kid in my house who knows who you are and wants to meet you. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't he the one who runs his own show of some sort?
Yeah, Nathan is a stand-up comedian by trade, and I'm pretty sure he has a YouTube channel and stuff like that too. But he's a professional, you know what I mean? He's also a blind man. He was in our show, Don't Look Now.
Yeah, he did not come to Florida, right? Because I don't think I met him. Or did I?
I don't think
I did.
Oh yeah, in Florida we had a special screening of the show, and yeah, we had several actors. And
I know. I remember
Nathan,
Brian.
I think, was one of them.
I remember
Nathan was there. I'm sure he was. Wasn't he, Gino?
Gino said he was. I just don't have.
He was, but remember, Anya, you and Robert, I don't think stayed for the whole show.
Oh well, the first night we ended up watching it later. I remember that.
Yeah. So in the
Yeah.
theater, you didn't, because he stood up and did a Q&A.
Yeah, we had a Q&A following the
Yeah.
screening in Orlando last
Yeah.
July.
Well, if it didn't get delayed for like 45 minutes, we would have stayed until the end. But there's some
Right.
technical issues.
Yeah.
We had to go. But I mean, I remember we went to this party outside. Gino and Becca, you may remember, and there were a bunch of you guys, and but again, I don't remember meeting Nathan and.
No, Nathan didn't come to that late night party.
Okay, maybe that explains it. That would be cool to have met him.
If you met Nathan, you definitely remember him. He's a really funny guy, very talkative. Just like I said, a real funny guy. Great to talk to. So.
Well, I think it's great that the pilot episode of Don't Look Now, it actual actors who happen to be blind are in the show, as well as other actors as well. Sighted actors.
Yeah,
well. I think that's really cool.
I think we had like 3/4 of the cast were blind or something like that. Blind or legally blind, or people who were at least use canes and braille and stuff in their everyday lives, right? They identify as blind if they're not totally blind.
Right. There was that guy Brian from New York, right? He was blind, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Brian.
Well, because the trend is to not use actual.
Hello, Brandon. What was he saying?
Brandon, we lost you again.
Yeah, Brandon. He said the trick is to not use.
The trick is not to disappear, Brandon.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, no, I was just saying what often happens is the reason I mentioned that is because often it's sighted people pretending to be blind, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, how would you feel if, you're Japanese and I just pretend to be Japanese? Oh, you don't like that, do you? Oh, no, you take very big offense at that, don't you? Oh.
Let me tell you.
And now we're canceled.
What do you mean we're canceled? Why are we canceled?
Because Brandon is making fun of Asians on your show.
No, I'm pretending to be Asian, just like they're pretending to be blind. They're not blind.
So I wanted to talk about our show, though. We actually had sighted people pretending to be blind on our show. We had blind people pretending to be sighted on our show. We had blind people pretending, who really were blind on our show, playing blind characters, Like, Don't Look Now has a little bit of everything in it.
Which I think is great, but so many shows won't include blind people.
Oh, I know. So many shows have sighted actors pretending to be blind, but we had blind actors playing sighted characters, blind actors playing blind characters. We had sighted characters playing blind characters. You know what I mean? We had a little bit of everything.
Well, to be fair, I don't know what it's like to produce or direct a show like that, but you can't tell me there are zero good blind actors or actresses. I just simply don't believe that.
Can I speak to that?
Yeah.
So, Brandon, it is very difficult, and this is not because of people that they're just blind, right? It's very difficult to find any cast. I mean, right now with our horror film, you're trying to find a needle in a haystack that meets the vision of the creative team of what this character really is, right? So when it came to this project, half of the principal cast, 6 people, are blind or low vision, legally blind. All of the background characters are blind. We had more blind cast members than any show in history, right? Could we have cast all of the blind characters with blind actors? No, we tried. We had over 10,000 submissions. We auditioned hundreds of blind people. And you got to remember, up until recently, it was very difficult for somebody who is low vision to have that opportunity, because every production, especially low budget productions, going to have the money and the resources and the time to convert all the scripts and everything into Braille. That was the biggest hindrance for a long time, was the technology itself. So that is why now we're in this time where there are going to be more possibilities and opportunities, because you have technology that is helping overcome certain obstacles, like, well, how does a blind cast member remember the script if they can't read it, right? Well, no, now we don't have to rely on Braille. There's lots of things. There's audio dictation. There's, all these other, technological things with the phones. So it opens up the possibilities. But so that's not to say that the studios are not trying and haven't tried. But again, like I said, any role, and we're in casting right now on this horror film, any role is really difficult to find the right person. Because just because a person, like for instance, if I say, well, we're looking for a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person. Well, there's a lot of them. That's an easy thing to find, right? That's really fucking easy, Now, if I say I'm actually looking for, a Ukrainian boy, 13 years old, and is this, right? Because the more specific it gets with what you're looking for, the harder it is to find. So that's the challenge, is when you want to write compelling characters, you want to write...
do you know how is the,
Brandon.
I don't know what's happening to him.
Yeah. Brandon. Yeah,
we keep on losing him.
Can you hear me?
There, we can hear you now.
Oh, I was going to ask you, do you know, the talent pool, is it getting bigger or smaller?
Compared to what?
Compared to, the way it was in the 1990s or early 2000s.
No, I don't know that, because I wasn't casting a blind TV show in the 90s.
And I think something like that would be really organic and be changing constantly, really.
Well, it is, because every movie, every TV show is a new creative endeavor. So you're always looking for new things.
Yeah, and like when we start casting for our horror movie, we're going to put out a casting call, and Gina will prepare descriptions of the roles and put key information in about the role. And then if an actor or actress wants to submit an audition for that role, that's what he or she would do. And it's really out of our control who auditions, you know what I mean? We just put it out there. Which reminds me, Gino, we're working with,
I can't talk about it online, Becca, but no, we are in the process. Well, what I would say to Becca's comment, though, Brandon, is that was the other problem when it came to a lack of technology, is when casting calls went out, and this is not just that it affected the blind community, it affected everybody. Like, if I wanted to be an actor 30 years ago, what chance did I have? I lived in a small Midwest town that had nothing going on. So how would I know about a casting call unless I moved to Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Right? Now, how many people that were blind 30 years ago were moving to Los Angeles specifically because they wanted to be actors?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's very easy in this day and age where everybody wants to simplify things and everybody wants to put things in little check boxes. But there's a whole big gray area that a lot of people don't consider. There might be somebody you audition and they're blind and they're good, but they're not as good as a sighted actor. Not because the actor is sighted, but because the actor has worked on 30 movies.
Yeah.
They have so much experience to bring to the table, and they may have a massive following. They may be more marketable, more bankable. So that's also a challenge in casting, is it's solving a puzzle and you don't know what the end result is actually, the end image is supposed to look like. So it's not just as simple as, these people, they just don't want to cast blind actors. That's not true.
Maybe now it's not true. I'm happy for that.
And if we have any auditions from blind actors or actresses to roles for the horror movie, I'm sure Gino and our crew that looks at the casting, I'm sure they'll consider them just like they do the sighted actors and actresses, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've proven that
casting directors are
we're not shy about hiring using blind
and
actors.
casting directors are not being biased and saying, oh, this person is low vision, we're just not going to give them an audition. You know what I mean? But there are a lot of other factors that go into this. So when you look at television shows, for instance, well, there's that show In the Dark or whatever it was called, and it was like this cop that went blind, and people were kind of in an uproar because she's not blind, in real life. Well, again, it kind of goes back to, it is a business. I mean, first and foremost, it is a business, right? So if I'm an executive producer and I'm putting in $3 million for a TV series or more with that show, obviously, I want to know that I'm going to make my money, right?
Yeah.
So if I have the choice of, well, here's this actress who has a following, has credits under her belt, is really awesome, and here's this person who fits the bill in terms of, well, they're blind, so that fits, but they have no ability to sell the show, right? That's a big factor, right? I mean, the reason Tom Cruise keeps on making movies is, guess what? Everybody keeps on watching Tom Cruise movies. He's a bankable star,
Right. Yeah.
I could come up with a Mission Impossible style movie and put myself in it. Do you think anybody's going to want to give me money to make it? They're going to go, who the fuck are you?
Now, Brandon, once the industry discovers my great acting abilities and me being a blind actress, then we'll actually, you know what I mean? I'm the answer to the problem. I just need the industry to realize my acting abilities as a blind actress, right? Now, listen, I'm gonna have a cameo on our horror movie. This is my big chance.
It's just I'm not used to you speaking so confidently.
Acting community. I'm being funny. I'm totally being
okay.
I'm just the executive producer. Gino is the brains behind it.
You never know with Becca.
I'm just gonna have a cameo in the horror movie, right? It's not like a big part or anything at all.
No, but Beck, what I would say though is this: is to Brandon and to anybody that's low vision or blind, is there are challenges in every industry. If you truly want something, nothing's going to stop you. And now is the time, more than any time in history, that the playing field is not only being leveled, it's actually being kind of tilted in a way in favor of, certain things. There are lots of people creating, I see it all the time. I mean, there are lots of creatives out there trying to do shows in the disabled space, right? So if somebody truly wants to be an actor, that's blind, start doing the work. That's what I would say. I mean, there's somebody that we used to know who basically thought just because they were my friend and Becca's friend that, oh, well, let me audition. And he was basically thinking he was guaranteed the role. Yeah. Until we met Nathan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth.
And that
Nathan killed it. Nathan, blew it out of the park, and the guy got all upset. And he didn't even do anything to a professional level. He didn't get his audition submitted on time. He was relying on his relationship with me and Becca and trying to leverage that. He didn't go through the process with our casting director. He just basically had that kind of entitled attitude that, why am I friends with you guys? No, not Nathan.
No, it was this other blind guy that we know.
I'm not, but what I'm saying is, even if I wanted to consider him, once Nathan auditioned, there wasn't a doubt in our mind that Nathan is the deal. I mean,
Nathan is Sam.
Yeah, Nathan is the character I wrote.
Because of his acting ability, not anything about anything else.
Yeah. Sometimes it's that X factor. But yes, I mean, anybody that wants to do anything in this world, start now. Stop making excuses. I mean, this has been true in the quote unquote sighted world forever. There's high competition in everything. There's unbelievable competition in sports, right? But you don't see basketball players who are like, well, shoot, I'm not 7'4", so I guess I should just give up and not even try, right? No, there's plenty of basketball players who are not, Michael Jordan, but they're still out there trying, because they love the game. So if you don't love it, then that's the answer. It's not, oh, nobody's going to give me a shot. It's like, no, take your own shot. Do the work.
which is that, and that explains why we keep making productions, right? And each one of our productions is getting better than the last one, you know.
Which is awesome. That is good.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I say, I'm very happy to be here, and I definitely wish you guys all the best with them.
Yeah. How long?
Have either of you watched the trailer for our new show called Invasion?
No, that I have not saw.
Okay, because
we played it during the.
I played it one time. I think a couple of.
Yeah. We might. I might talk to Gino about working the. I might talk to Gino about possibly working the trailer and just like we're using the trailer for Don't Look Now as a commercial, we could probably do that with the trailer for Invasion too. To let our viewers see it, you know, and be aware of it.
It definitely rings the bell. I think, but I can't remember what it was about. Did it ever come on a screen? Like, did it ever get filmed?
It's one of our projects. It hasn't been entered into any film festivals yet, like Don't Look Now has been. We actually shot it before we filmed it before we filmed Don't Look Now, but the production of it the post-production took longer than Don't Look Now, so we just got done with the post-production of it. So
I got you. Yeah, was that in April that you? That must have been when I was on vacation.
It was in July of, or no, was it? I think it was July of 2022, or was it 23?
Oh no! I mean, you said you showed the trailer. Oh, I wasn't here then. I didn't even know you guys then.
No. We just started putting the trailer into the commercial break. Sometimes I'll do it again on the next go.
Yeah. We just finished the trailer for Invasion recently here, and so Gino, do you think we could start showing the trailer for Invasion during our commercial breaks too, like the trailer for Don't Look Now, so our viewers can be aware of it and maybe?
Yep.
And then when it does hit the film festivals, they can watch for it. Invasion is such a cool show too, you guys. And so is Don't Look Now and the horror movie we're about to go into production on. And this is an exciting industry.
Do you guys have a name for it yet, or it's not supposed to be released yet?
A name for the horror movie?
Yeah, we can't right now. We can't really talk about it.
Damn.
Sorry.
Sorry, but not sorry, right?
Stay tuned.
Well, we're in springtime now, headed towards summer, so people are going to want to get out of the heat, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, why not sit down and watch something interesting or creepy or, you know what I mean?
Or
out here in Arizona, it gets really, really, really hot. So they say it's going to be another crazy summer out here. So,
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Is that the end of the show then?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us again next time.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.